gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you.
Hey guys, Heman 1010 here, and today we're gonna be cutting to the chase. First, I welcome you to He-Man's critique, pretty much Brady's talk, but it's me. The whole deal is a lot of people were trying to find out why it was just Brady, and when it came to Brady's talks, it was just because he wanted to do more. We're not canceling Brady's talks. I'm not putting it down because I edit this stuff, so if I put him down, that puts me down. So, growing up, I was a bit of an old school kid before getting into more modern consoles like the PS3 and Xbox One at the time. I was playing Super Nintendo and Hot Shots Golf on the PlayStation 2. Now, one of the games that I got on like the Super Nintendo, like when I was first introduced, it started out as my cousin going, "Hey, you want to see this really cool game I got?" And I'm like, "What is it?" And he's like, "I have this game called Donkey Kong, and I have Mario World." I don't have Mario World, but Donkey Kong Country I found out we did have, because I talked with my dad about it, how I played it at my cousin's house, and he pulled out this whole thing of games. So that's when I started playing Donkey Kong Country, and though I wasn't very good at it at the time, I played the Super Nintendo long enough to master it a lot, and not too long ago I actually sped run through the game. It took me an hour at best, sadly. I wanted to do it in like 40 something minutes, but it took an hour, and I feel that after a lot of trouble that I've been through, it's time to review my childhood game. Let's get started. So, I'm going to cut to the chase with the storyline. The whole deal is K. Rool sends his minions to go steal bananas from the Kong Horde, or whatever it's called, I forgot, and steal all of the bananas. That pretty much pisses off Mr. Donkey Kong III, and he decides that he's going to kick a bunch of other animals' asses that had something to do with K. Rool taking the bananas. So, you start out in Jungle Japes, or I believe that's what it's called, and the music is amazing for Super Nintendo standards, the graphics as well, the gameplay, it was great from the very level that you started, and when I started on that, I could already tell that I was really gonna enjoy the game, which I did. The game was great throughout most of the time. Like, there's levels like the minecart levels. One point you'll be in a cave, you'll be beating up snakes, to a crystal type level, to forests, to all these other things. You know, you'll be through all of that, and then there's minecart levels. There's others where you have to collect fuel so your little platform doesn't fall over. But then there's some levels where you wonder whether the person making the level or had the idea for that level was an alcoholic, or if his ex just left him. So, yeah, for example, you have those levels with the factory that blindsides you by turning the lights completely off so you can't see anything, and then there's the snow levels where the snow blindsides you as well. Then there's those barrel levels where the thing is going so damn fast you can't tell when you're going to coordinate it. And a lot of times you can't get through it without having two Kongs. If you don't have two Kongs for most of those, you're screwed. And when you lose, you're probably going to tell the developers to go themselves, even though they made this like 20, 30 years ago. And so, when when you're going through most of this game, it can be an enjoyable experience, and those levels that get very difficult, you'll get through them. You'll get through them all of a sudden, like, it'll be at some point. But for me, it's been mostly easy, except for the blindsiding levels and everything else, which it took me years to do that, and it's easy for me now, because, I mean, that's my childhood game. I'm going to get better at it as I go on. But then there's people who are new to it who won't even play it for that long because it's way too difficult. So, after... Oh, wait, spoilers coming up. Spoilers. I'm going to give you guys, like, 30 seconds or less to skip. So after beating all the worlds, you get to King K. Rool's ship. The music is already amazing from where it starts. And K. Rool, he'll suddenly just jump out of nowhere, like when you get to the side. You get your Kong, you get to the side, K. Rool jumps out of nowhere, and most of it is just him throwing the crown at you. You dodge it, and then you jump on his head. Then you gotta jump over him when he's running. You think that's gonna be it, and then it's gonna be simple. But then all of a sudden he starts jumping across the board, and then these little cannonballs are falling over, and then it'll go to even more patterns as it goes on, and so it gets more impressive. Next thing you know, you think you killed him, but then he wakes up. And then you gotta do other patterns. Like he'll start jumping over you, then he'll throw the crown. So he'll put mixtures of the crown thing with other stuff as it goes on, so the boss keeps going, and you have that badass music playing during it. So, overall, I'm not sure if I'm going to really give these games scores like Brady does, but, overall, it's an amazing game. Anyone who's willing to go to a blast from the past, or go old school like I am, I'd say go ahead, pick up Donkey Kong Country. It's my dad's favorite, my cousin's favorite. I like the second one overall, but a lot of people think otherwise, so I say go for it. Thank you guys for watching the first episode of He-Man's Critique. I might get further into game details. This is my first time doing it, and I'm trying not to, like, waste the whole time talking about the story of it. So, this is He-Man 1010, signing off. Or as Brady would say, sayonara.